Rob, how does that so far away in Russia, eastern Russia, create a tsunami warning within an hour or so in Hawaii, and then even to the Delta in the Sacramento region affected by what happened to Russia?
You know, anything in the Pacific Rim area that's connected to the ocean had some at least initial threat right away. But because of where the earthquake occurred and how the tsunami rolls out, then it starts to favor certain areas versus others. And of course, at the end of the line, places like Crescent City, you could see that because of its unique feature, that's a place where we are more focused because it has recent history. Back in the 60s, it was destroyed essentially, at least the waterfront, because of a tsunami. So this is something that has been getting reduced more and more and more. If I could use the other computer, that would be most helpful to me, so I could use more of my graphics. But Walt, one of the things that's amazing here is that even though it's thousands and thousands of miles away across the all the way across the Pacific, the energy moves through the ocean, moves through the water, just like energy moves through a slinky, but the slinky essentially stays in the same place, moves at 500 miles per hour. So as these plates interact, it pushes the water column up all at once, then it propagates out, and then it's going to move in various directions all at the same time very quickly. Obviously, the biggest damage is going to be closer to where the earthquake is. You have very little time to evacuate. It favors harbors and bays and small places that sort of pool up the water, and then there's no place for it to go. So that's usually where you see the worst damage. But this is detected off a buoy off the coast of Hawaii. You could see the normal wave motion there as it goes up and down related to the tides, right? Then you can see all of a sudden it becomes very erratic, essentially just as it's moving up and down very, very quickly and much more rapidly. So that's what a tsunami looks like for an ocean buoy. Now, for our purposes here, are the area covered by the tsunami advisory, and earlier we had a warning. Now we're just in advisory territory for that one specific spot, Crescent Bay, and the other spot, which is Arena Cove. They came up in the middle of the night, 3 to 4 feet, very quickly. That doesn't seem like much, but you could see how much a boat will move up next to a dock. That may be enough to break the mooring. That may be enough to cause some other issues as well. So this is what's left of this. At some point, as they monitor all the data, it'll get dropped. So big earthquake, some impacts certainly, but as far as major damage, we've been avoiding it, and this is how it looks at the moment. You can see if cars are down there, they're clearly not they're not too concerned at this point. Yeah.
So if I go to Rio Vista today, right, I want to grab a bite to eat at Foster's Bighorn, I want to throw my line in the water, maybe catch some bass, what would I notice in the Delta today? Just that the level of the river would be up?
At worst, it would appear for moments like a king tide. A king tide is where you have a normal high tide and then it's a foot or two above that. The worst case scenario, it would be that, which would be low level coastal flooding in some of the spots connected directly to the ocean. So that's what you would experience on the edges there of the Delta.
It's amazing how an 8.8 in Russia could affect me fishing for bass in Rio Vista. All right, Rob, thank you. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of minutes for a look at the complete local forecast. Don't forget, you can find more coverage of the tsunami threat on the ABC 10+ streaming app. You can watch our earlier newscasts, press conferences. The app is free to download to your TV wherever you stream.